So this is called My Uncle is No Ordinary Guy, and it's actually not about any uncle of mine. It's about a guy I know who is an uncle. At the crossroads where I could have turned left, I heard something whisper to me, "Wait, take a moment. You do not need to rush. Sit here with me and we can count the cars. We can talk about the essence of Ford, if you like. My uncle is no ordinary guy. He sees things between the cracks. He sees how water can bounce from one leaf to another, and how some things spring back when the weight is taken off, and how some things don't. Wait, he said to me, calling from far away, but so that only I could hear him. He didn't talk about the gates at all. He didn't do the whole "they only open in one direction" lecture. Instead, he told me about a car that actually had a square steering wheel, and about the first time he saw me, and how it changed stuff. I never realized that my uncle gave up smoking because of me. My uncle is no ordinary guy. I didn't really care at the time about Austin and horsepower and rust. Perhaps he wondered whilst we sat there if any of it was actually mattering. It was. It did. It still does. To this day, I remember that door held open as I passed, that hail, that whisper, the broken biscuits on the table, the crumbs on the floor between us. It was nice to have crumbs. It was nice not to have to worry about them. I ask him now what's moved him to me, what's brought him to my ear. "Because I understand how bystanders watch," he said, and that time I was not prepared to be one. And there you go.
I might still have to edit this one a bit, but, well. The beauty. When the first man came to our soppy home in the abyssal zone, my sisters and I would drive them mad. One of our cousins, less impressed, called me peachy cheek, almond eye, most beautiful under sea and sky. I felt uneasy. He became lord of the sea. I feared even more his advances like shadows forecasting the sore facts of my destiny. So loving mother and aunt sent me to the temple. I became priestess of the eternal Virgin in Athens. More suitors came, and I felt secure. Her giant statue was frightening, for sure kept them modest. He found me there, and then told me he held grudges against her, for she once defeated him with an olive tree. Then cursed and threatened if I would not lie with him right now, he would send a flood, and all because of me would die. Not believing his words, this temple of hers would surely prevent his malicious attack. I resisted. But his shrewd mind, witty and sly, expected that much, asked if I ever thought about how he even could enter her temple. I cried for help to my goddess, no answer from her. He descended on me. I relented. Oh, pain and horror, shame and disgust, on top of all, Athena's mistrust when she found us. Enraged about the desecration, her uncle Poseidon beyond condemnation, she cursed me. And I begged her, do worse, do more, as ugly as you can, I do implore. Let me be two-faced from now on. Let every suitor turn to stone about her sight now to behold. Let snakes on my poor head unfold. My goddess and beloved sister, let me be your twin sinister. When later the man came to my home in the ground, I irrevocably captured their gaze. Looking into my changing face, they saw their very own ugliness reflected. Thus year after year went by, and I got weary of the snakes hissing, whispering in my head, in my ears. An army of stones grew around, closing in like the night. I screamed for salvation hysterically. Perseus came, his shield like a mirror threw back my sight. He beheaded me. Yet I am the everlasting saint in fury. I lived in Brigid, in every woman you see. Medusa means horror from your point of view. but that's just the damage inflicted by you. Thank you very much.
This is a complete story, but I'm only doing the prologue. Gunshots in Hong Kong. They may have been cornered, but there was no chance of Mario Barteo and Angel Margrove backing down, because this was the fight for their lives. Malkovich stood before them, the best assassin of Ling Tao, head of the Four Dragons Corporation, whose crooked deals sometimes went sour. Mario and Angel's deal was one of them. Hiding behind a crate, a young boy named Sean was holding baby Sinead, keeping her warm and praying she didn't cry. "You really thought you'd get away?" sneered Malkovich. "No one gets away from Ling Tao, and no one gets away from me." Out came the pistols, and an onslaught of bullets started. And by the time they were finished, Malkovich was walking away, speaking to Ling Tao on his mobile phone, saying, "It's done." Sean ran over to the dying couple, and as Angel was getting weaker, she said, "Watch out for Sinead, and be careful who you talk to. They may work for Ling Tao." Sean nodded, and after making sure Malkovich was really gone, ran to the car, a blue Cadillac, and drove to St. Jones's School Orphanage. There he spoke to Miss Smith, the owner headmistress, about the night's activity. Oh my. She was disheartened to hear an assassin had left a child without parents. "I'll let you stay here as a handyman to watch over Sinead, and we'll do our utmost to protect her too." Before Miss Smith showed him his room, the 9-year-old boy knelt before the altar, crying for the two people who'd been like family. And at that very altar, he swore he would give his life for Sinead if Malkovich ever returned.
That was an interesting start to something. This is the start of a movie, yes, it is. Very filmic.